Aloha and welcome to the Nisei Veteran Memorial Center Chrysanthemum Gala.
ご来賓の皆様、こんばんは。いらしてくださってありがとうございます。We are just so honored to have all of you here with us this evening.
So our mission is to ignite human potential by inspiring people to find the hero in themselves through the legacy of the Nisei veterans.
And before we continue, I also wanted to just acknowledge Bo Mahoy. He was recently in Washington, D.C. He received the Vietnam Veterans Service inaugural Service Above Service Award for all that he has done for our veterans. So let's give him a very big round of applause. It's a very prestigious award, and we're so honored to have him on our board. So congratulations.
Thank you. I know those in the back row, you can't see me blushing, but thank you very much. Okay. At this time, please help me welcome our board chair, Ms. Kyoko Kimura, to say a few words.
Aloha, good evening, and konbanwa. DJ speaks better in Japanese than me. Thank you very much for coming tonight, and especially Mayor Bison. Thank you for taking your time out of your very, very busy schedule. So it is my great honor to have all of you tonight. It's a beautiful evening. It's only because Deidre, Melanie, Mike Monekio, and so many dedicated people worked so hard to put this together. Sometimes it's very frustrating. Something goes wrong and you have to do it all over again, right? Sometimes. But can you imagine doing all of this without AI or without even internet, email, or Excel? Can you imagine? This started back in 1953 by AJA. It's not even a decade after the World War II. So back then, people are still returning, like communities healing. But somebody at the AJA had the brightest idea to have this chrysanthemum. So they laid the foundation, not just an event, but of values, remembrance, service, and community. And then in 2008, something extraordinary happened. Yes, sons and daughters of Nisei veterans stepped forward. We have Chrysanthemum King tonight, Leonard Oka, Ted Kesaji, and other board members are here. Thank you for your trust in us. They inherited not just a gala, but a responsibility to honor, service, preserve history, and do justice to the legacy. Sons and daughters not just adopted the chrysanthemum, they renewed it and then carried forward with heart. Now it's our turn to carry the legacy, and we will continue blossoming. So tonight, on behalf of Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, I want to thank you and enjoy the evening. And if something goes wrong, that's part of the experience. Thank you.
And now I ask Deidre to come forward and furnish us with a report of what we have done.
I love reports.
Okay.
Thank you, Bo. It's been another really busy year. We have been busy with exhibits. Melanie continues to digitize the archives. We've had workshops and movies and wonderful talks like Gwen's tomorrow. But if it's okay with all of you and if it's okay with the board, I'd really like to take the next few minutes to talk about our Chrysanthemum Ambassadors Program. First, as our board chair, Kyoko Kimura, had said, we are so honored that the Maui Sons and Daughters of the Nisei Veterans entrusted us with this 70-plus year tradition. And the scariest thing was we didn't want to mess it up. It had been such a beautiful program all these years. We made a few changes, and instead of queens and princesses, we have made our ambassador candidates an ambassador and liaisons, with the ambassador going with us to Japan in May to represent us in Hiroshima and also Fukuyama, our sister city, in the Rose Parade. The liaisons are going to spend a wonderful day on Oahu talking with their counterparts at Pacific Buddhist Academy. They're having lunch at Honolulu Art Museum. We are doing a special tour of Washington Place, meeting with our elected officials. Thank you, Senator Hashimoto and Representative Miyake. And then the day ends with a wonderful, very special audience with the Consul General at the residence as well. And then we'll have dinner and then we'll come home. So over the course of these past 4 months, the candidates have been busy. They've been busy raising money. I wonder if my watch came off to tell me that I'm already out of time. No. So 40% of their overall score actually comes from an essay that each of the candidates wrote. 30% comes from the funds that they raised. 15% comes from an interview that they did. 10% from community service, and 5% from their grades. And they each keep a percentage of all of the funds that they have raised, including the Yeti cooler, peace crane, Chinese pretzel that the ADK ladies are selling in the back. For every peace crane, you get 2 chances to win Yeti coolers from Ben Franklin Crafts. So thank you so much. And then they get to keep a portion of that. Moving forward, the Chrysanthemum Ambassadors Program is open to all genders, all ethnicities, and it's county-wide. It will be county-wide. But tonight, I'd like to talk about these 3 amazing young women. Dedicated, poised, responsible, kind, curious, intelligent, really only begin to describe Riley, Keala, and Abigail. And your families. Riley Ota is here tonight with her parents, Ryan and Leanne Ota, and her grandparents, Dennis and Eloise Ouchi. Let's applaud for them. And stand up. There. Keala Rodriguez is here with her mother, Jenny Ka'ahui, her grandmother, Aine Ka'ahui, and her aunt, Sansi Ka'ahui. Please stand up. And Abigail Tamayose is here with her parents, Chad and Janelle Tamayose, and her grandfather, Wayne Maeda. So truly, we cannot thank you enough for being part of this program. Your grace, your hard work, your engagement has been awe-inspiring. Don't know where you find the time to do everything that you did, including the sharing of the stories of our Nisei veterans. We have so many new people in our database thanks to these young women. And isn't that really what the men wanted when they came home for continuing service? They wanted to make the community better than it was. And I think these three girls are definitely doing that. And on more than one occasion, Melanie and I both have heard, "Oh, we didn't know you hired somebody new." And you can insert Keala Riley Abigail. She's doing a great job working for you. So thank you very, very much. So on behalf of the board, the staff, and all of the supporters of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, we thank each and every one of you. We can't wait to see what you do next, and just know that you always, always, always have a place at the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. So these kind of programs and all the other programs we do are thanks to all of you. So please give yourselves a round of applause, and if you're too shy to do that, give the person next to you a round of applause. We thank you very, very much, and that is the end of my report, which was not written with AI, as you can probably tell.
So you heard that. Next year, all genders. After tonight, I'm going home and work on my essay. I didn't hear any age restrictions. We are so lucky to have such a wonderful relationship with Consulate General of Japan in Honolulu. Joining us today, we are honored to welcome Consulate General Chotoku, who began his post in Honolulu in 2025 after more than 3 decades of distinguished public service. A graduate of Kyoto University with a master's in electrical engineering and later earning a master's in development economics. Consul General Chotoku has served in key diplomatic and policy roles across the globe, from UNESCO in Paris and the Embassy of Japan in the Netherlands to senior leadership positions in Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs. His work has spanned development assistance, humanitarian, consular policy, and international cooperation. In 2024, he was appointed Japan's Ambassador for Climate Change. Today, he brings his depth of experience to Hawaii, strengthening the long-standing ties between Japan and our island. Please join me in welcoming Consul General Chotoku.
皆さん、こんにちは。Good evening and aloha. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. I'm Hideaki Chotoku, Consul General of Japan in Honolulu. I came here 5 months ago, last November. It's my great honor, and my wife Misato, sitting right over here, to join this event. First of all, I'd like to express my deepest sympathies to those affected by the flood and heavy rain in Maui in last March. Also, I wish to express my respect for the strong leadership of Mayor Bissen in responding to the flood and heavy rain and carrying out the recovery efforts. We visited Maui for the first time in last March, March 10th and 11th, on a family trip. So it was right before the heavy rain in Maui started. During that visit, So weather was nice. So we enjoyed the trip in Maui, and then so we stayed one night in Kaanapali and went up to the summit of Mauna Kea, and the landscape was amazing. And also visited Iao Valley and visited Hana. So it was a very busy 2 day travel. So during this travel, so I was driving a car almost all the time. So it was very I got so very tired, but I enjoyed the Maui so very much. But maybe next time I want to ask my wife to drive on my behalf. I think so. She says okay. I really so appreciate the invitation to this event. So because this invitation allowed us to come back to Maui. Particularly, I would like to thank Ms. Kyoko Kimura and also Ms. Dider Teagarden for inviting us and planning such a wonderful event. Each time I visit a new island, I recognize the strength of the bond between Japan and Hawaii. This special connection is built on a foundation of trust, respect, and the values that have been carefully nurtured over many generations. Organizations like Nisei Veterans Memorial Center have played an essential role for this purpose. Their work preserving and sharing the history of the Nisei veterans has ensured that their legacies and the lessons are remembered and passed down with each new generation. Today, more than 80 years after the end of World War II, we are fortunate to enjoy a strong and multifaceted relationship between Japan and Hawaii and Japan and the United States. But this relationship did not happen by chance. It is a result of the vision and the commitment of many individuals on both sides between Japan and Hawaii who worked tirelessly to make it happen. One of such individuals is Mr. Leonard Oka, who is with us this evening, inspired by his father's service and experiences. Mr. Oka founded the Maui Sons and Daughters of Nisei Veterans to honor their lasting legacy. Through years of dedicated effort, Mr. Oka and the other members of preserved the stories and records of their own families and fellow Nisei veterans from Maui, which lays the foundations for the collections at the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. I would also like to thank all of the members of the Maui Sons and Daughters of Nisei Veterans. Without the hard work of all of them, there would be an irreplaceable loss in the history and the legacies of Nisei veterans. It is because of all of you. The Consul General's commendation to the Maui Sons and Daughters of Nisei veterans. This commendation is a recognition bestowed upon individuals or organizations deemed to have made commendable and significant contributions in supporting our goal of promoting mutual understanding and friendly relations between Japan and Hawaii. I can certainly say without hesitation that Maui sons and daughters of Nisei veterans have done this through their outstanding contributions. With that said, I would like to conclude my remarks. Thank you, Mahalo. 表彰状、マウイ二世退役軍人子女会殿。貴殿は我が国とアメリカ合衆国との相互理解及び友好親善に寄与し、その功績顕著なものがあります。ここに深甚なる敬意を表するとともに表彰します。令和8年4月24日、在ホノルル日本国総領事、長徳秀明。Certificate of Commendation, Maui sons and daughters of Nisei veterans. In recognition of your significant contributions to fostering mutual understanding, as well as friendship and goodwill between Japan and the United States, we express our profound respect and hereby bestow this commendation upon you. The 24th of April, the 8th year of Reiwa, which corresponds to 2026. Consul General of Japan in Honolulu, Hideaki Chotoku. Congratulations.
Good evening, everybody. Representing the Maui sons and daughters of the Nisei veterans, as its founder back in 1982, I would like to thank the Honorable Consul General Chotoku Hideaki for this recognition tonight. As our organization grew and learned the history of the Nisei veterans, we realized the impact our Nisei soldiers made in Europe and Asia during and after World War II. Especially in the South Pacific, they served not only as soldiers, but as ambassadors to the world. The Maui sons and daughters have strived to tell the story of their brave but caring actions in conflict and even at the end of the war. Especially in the war against Japan, the soldiers of the Military Intelligence Service served with compassion to the enemy as well as to the citizens from their homeland. Thanks to their compassion, a transition to peace after the war led to a better understanding between countries. When I was asked to respond to the Consul General Chotoku's commendation, I thought of John Tsukano's book, Bridge of Love. Here, I would like to share a few excerpts from this book. When Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, it unleashed an unprecedented firestorm of hatred against all persons and things of Japanese. The 120,000 Japanese Americans from the west coast of the U.S. were imprisoned behind barbed wire in desolate surroundings in the interior of the United States. How did the immigrant Japanese, the Issei, and their offspring, the Nisei, on the mainland U.S. and Hawaii, face and respond to the overwhelming power arrayed against them? Incredibly, they responded with the most powerful force in the universe, love. In another excerpt from this book, Mr. Tsukano relates a chance meeting with a lady named Mrs. Matsuo. She introduced herself by saying that she was visiting Hawaii from Tokyo and would like to meet with him. John inquired why they wanted to meet with him. She answered, "We would like you to tell us about the Nisei who fought in World War II." Over dinner, Mr. and Mrs. Matsuo came to the point immediately. Mr. Matsuo began, We are great admirers of the men of the 100th Infantry Battalion, 442nd Regiment, and the Military Intelligence Service. We sincerely believe that their accomplishments in World War II were largely responsible for the economic recovery of Japan. They continued, "It's true, the Issei and Nisei in America did more for the people and nation of Japan than you know. We are very grateful." John saw a very special mission that was accomplished by the Nisei soldiers. Their accomplishments on the battlefield, as well as after, played a big role in the bridge of love. The Maui sons and daughters of the Nisei veterans also saw it in our search for the full story of their fathers, the Nisei veterans. I want to share this phrase with you. Only with the passing of the torch from generation to generation will the light shine upon the honorable achievements of the past. We would like to thank the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center for accepting this torch by continuing to tell the proud story of our fathers. Kyle, Shar, Annette, Floyd, and Melanie, thank you for your contributions. And thank you very much to all of the Maui sons and daughters, some of which are here tonight, to support this Nisei Veterans Memorial Center fundraiser. And especially thank you again to Consul General Chotoku for this special recognition tonight. Arigatou gozaimasu. And that's all the Japanese I know.
I'll try my Japanese. Arigatou gozaimasu, Consul General Chotoku, and congratulations to Maui's sons and daughters of the Nisei veterans for all they have done and continue to do to strengthen the bridge between Maui and Japan. Now, this is unscripted. We're going to ask our Maui County Mayor, Richard Bisson, to come forward and say a few words. And while he's taking time to figure out what those few words are, I just want to tell you that tonight, as you can see, it's a special occasion. If Leonard Oka wears long pants and Bo Mahoy wears a suit with tie, it's a special occasion tonight. Thank you.
Mahalo. Actually, I was told I was speaking, so I actually had some remarks, Bo. Sorry, if nobody told you, though. I wish I went first. I wish I went earlier because I think we could end right at what just happened and what we all witnessed. But thank you for your indulgence. I just wanted to correct something because I know you guys all had the same reaction I had when Consul General said he drove all the way to Mauna Kea from here. No, because that would be one long drive. And I can see why he would want his wife to drive the next time. He knows he went to Haleakala because today he was sitting in my office and we were looking at Haleakala outside the window and he told me that's where he went. So I'm absolutely 100% sure that that's what he intended. So I want everybody to know that. I just wanted to clear that up with, for him today. He absolutely understood where he was, where he had gone to visit. So again, I'll just say aloha mai kako. It's an honor to join all of you this evening as we celebrate this tradition rooted in more than 70 years of the Chrysanthemum celebration. I also would like to mahalo the AJA veterans, the Maui sons and daughters of the Nisei veterans, your board president, Kyoko Kimura, the executive director, Deidre Teagarden, and the Honorable Aki Chotoku, Consul General of Japan in Honolulu. The work of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center continues to inspire people to find the hero within themselves, guided by a legacy grounded in service, in gratitude, and in doing what is right. This year's Chrysanthemum Ambassador candidates represent the next generation of leaders, each stepping forward with a willingness to serve and to give back. Through community involvement, learning, and outreach, they help ensure the stories and lessons of those who have come before us are carried forward. Their role reflects the importance of leading by example and building stronger connections across our community. Leadership is often defined by what is done when no one is watching, through consistent action and a genuine commitment to others. And so on that note, I say mahalo for being here this evening and for your support in encouraging our Chrysanthemum Ambassador candidates as they grow, lead, and give back to our community. And I will share what Leonard also knows. It's about what I know. Arigato gozaimasu. Aloha.
Okay, another big round of applause for County Mayor of Maui, Richard Bisson. So at this time, I would like to ask our board member, Michael Munikio, to share the invocation.
If you're able, may I ask that you either bow your heads or place your palms together as measures of gratitude for the causes and conditions which has brought us all here together tonight. This moment of reflection allows us to consider the courage and endurance of our Nisei veterans, the immeasurable sacrifice of their Issei parents, the values of our diverse community passed down through generations, gifting to us the aloha spirit which we embrace today. We hold heartfelt gratitude for the unlimited potential of our youth, for the grit, strength, and humility of our Chrysanthemum Ambassador candidates, for the compassion and love offered by their parents, for the kindness and support of their friends, relatives, and our selfless community. How grateful we are that despite our human imperfections, in this unrepeatable moment, we find peace and harmony with clarity to act selflessly for the greater good. With these thoughts in mind, let us prepare to receive this wonderful meal, a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us receive with open hearts immeasurable wisdom and compassion which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu.
Imagine shopping for a new car in a friendly environment. A showroom sparkling with quality and reliability, filled with sleek, shiny, irresistible, and affordable must-have vehicles. Yet no high-pressure salespeople, only courteous customer assistance with aloha spirit. This is the reality at Maui Toyota. Come discover the difference. Test drive the new Toyotas at Maui Toyota, 320 Hana Highway, Kahului.
At Napa, we keep things moving. If it has wheels and an engine, we help keep it on the road. And if it's on the road, we have parts for it. And if you need a part, you can get it fast. At Napa, when we're not thinking about cars, we're thinking about the people who drive them. Because when it comes to serving you and our community, our motor never quits.
At this point, we are going to start the awards program. And to start us off with our Hero Award winner, please help me welcome to the stage our Nisei Veterans Board member and treasurer, Kathy Shimizu. Let's have a big round of applause.
Hiroshi Arizumi Leadership Award. During World War II, the Nisei soldiers inspired America as the Army's gold standard and showed the world what it meant to go for broke. When the Nisei veterans returned from war, they continued to lead the Maui community with the strength of their character and the integrity of their actions. The Hero Award recognizes individuals who have led Maui County forward with the leadership style of the Nisei. In every generation, there are people who step forward not for recognition, but because they cannot imagine doing anything else when their community is hurting. Wayne Kobayashi of Printers Inc. Wailuku is one of those people, a steady, humble force whose instinct is always to help. When the 2011 earthquake and tsunami struck Japan, Wayne created shirts to raise funds and with the help of the Rinzai mission, ensured donations reach those most in need. During COVID-19, he partnered with Ocean Vodka to label and distribute free hand sanitizer across Maui. After the Lahaina fires, he secured and delivered pallets of essential supplies to first responders and families who had lost everything. And during November's federal government shutdown, he organized meals for airport workers, including air traffic controllers and Department of Agriculture staff, making sure they felt supported during a very difficult time. Across every crisis, one truth remains constant. Wayne never waits to be asked. He simply sees a need and moves towards it. His compassion and action echo the legacy of the Nisei veterans, ordinary people who rose to extraordinary service through courage, humility, and love for their community. Tonight, the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center proudly honors Wayne Kobayashi with the Hiroshi Arizumi Leadership Award, recognizing a lifetime of quiet, unwavering aloha. Unfortunately, Wayne is not able to join us today, so we will be accepting the award on his behalf and making sure that he gets the award and any, so if you know Wayne, please reach out and congratulate him and thank him for all his years of service. Thank you.
At this time, we're going to start our Chrysanthemum Ambassador Awards. We are, needless to say, very excited about this new journey that we're taking. To start us off, I'd like to invite up Michael Munekio. He is on our board, and he has been so instrumental in this program, and it's just wonderful to see it all come to fruition. So please help us welcome Mike Munekio to start us off with our Chrysanthemum Ambassador Awards program.
Thank you, Deidre. We thought it might be useful to take you through the journey that each of our candidates went through over the these past 4 months. So let me just quickly go through that. Abigail, Kiala, and Riley. Through your hard work engaging in the rigorous process of the Chrysanthemum Ambassador Program, each of you has become that symbol of inspiration. It started months ago with your applications to the program, which asked that you consider your personal experiences with conflict resolution. Along the way, you participated in Toastmasters meetings to sharpen your public speaking skills. Your hands-on work in Japanese floral arranging raised your appreciation for art and culture. Your efforts in raising funds, together with your meetings with Deidre and board members, allowed you to carry yourself with maturity and dignity. Against the backdrop of your daily schoolwork and multiple extracurricular activities, you researched, reflected, and expressed your views on gratitude and humility in each of your essays. We know that for you, the essays were not just an exercise in writing. It was an experience which shifted how you think about the world around you. You interviewed with a panel of our board members. You shared your personal values, your perspectives on the legacy of our Nisei, and importantly, your commitment and readiness to share their legacy. And like our Nisei veterans, you embraced and demonstrated courage to do something beyond the borders of comfort. Abigail, Kiala, and Riley, we thank you for your commitment to the Ambassador Program. And we thank each of you for your time, energy, and hard work to bring us all together this evening. Of course, it goes without saying that we are grateful to your parents, family, and friends who have supported you throughout your journey. And I know that I speak for all of us here this evening when I say that we are comforted in knowing that our next generation of leaders reside in our midst. Thank you, Abigail, Kiala, and Riley.
Thank you very much. Now you are all in for a treat, because now you get to actually hear from these accomplished young women. So please help me welcome, for giving the first speech tonight, Miss Riley Ann Ota.
Imagine being born before women had the right to vote, but living long enough to see a world where your great-grandchildren and even great-great-grandchildren could thrive. My great-grandmother did. Born in 1918, my Nana lived to be 104. She was a strong-minded, independent woman, almost like a young woman in a seasoned body. She witnessed wars and cultural change and grew up in a time that demanded resilience. My great-grandfather was part of that same generation, serving in the 442. They found each other later in life, but both understood what it meant to sacrifice, to endure, and to build something lasting. And together, they built a love that wasn't loud, but steady. Good evening, everyone. My name is Riley Ota, and it's truly an honor to stand here before you tonight at the Chrysanthemum Gala. When I first visited the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, I had the amazing opportunity to learn about the values that shaped that generation. Words like gaman, quiet endurance, enryo, humility, sekinin, responsibility, meio, honor, and gisei, sacrifice. And as I reflected upon those words, I realized I didn't have to look too far to understand them. My Nana once told me that when she was little, her family never had much to eat. And some nights, dinner would just be kidney beans. And sometimes she would have to snack on a handful of ebi. And that, to me, showed gaman, the ability to patiently persevere in tough times. And I remember how she never told that story with bitterness, but always with a smile, and a smile that showed gratitude for how far her family had come. As she grew older, she became the kind of person everybody gravitated towards. She loved to travel, she loved meeting new people, and especially she loved to cook. And feeding her family was one of her greatest joys. And that showed gisei, giving of yourself. She remembered every grandchild's birthday, every single one, without a fail. A card would arrive. And that showed sekinin, responsibility rooted in love. And when I think about my great-grandfather and the 442, I see those same values: loyalty, sacrifice, and perseverance, lived out on a different battlefield. Different circumstances, same foundation. Now, when we talk about the Nisei veterans, especially the men of the 442, we often hear the phrase, "go for broke." And at first, I thought it sounded bold, almost reckless. But I learned that it wasn't about recklessness. It was about commitment. Go for broke meant giving everything, holding nothing back. It meant stepping forward even when your loyalty was questioned. Despite being one of the most decorated units in US history, they were still discriminated against. But regardless, their mindset was rooted in something much deeper. Giri, a sense of duty. Duty to their country, to their community, duty to their family. And alongside that duty was something just as powerful, an understanding of haji, shame. Not shame in the negative sense, but an awareness of their actions reflected not only on themselves, but on their parents, their siblings, and their family name. And to bring honor, meio, was not just personal pride, it was protection, and it was responsibility. And imagine carrying that weight. Knowing that how you lived, how you served, and how you endured would shape your entire community, and that takes courage of a different kind. It wasn't loud, it wasn't boastful, it was steady. They never fought for applause. They fought to prove something, not with words, but with action. And in doing so, they showed us that love can look like duty, love can look like honor, and love can look like refusing to let your family name be diminished. And that to me was the legacy of Go for Broke. It wasn't just bravery in battle, but integrity and character. And that's the language of love I learned. Not a love expressed only in words, but in responsibility, in sacrifice, in humility, and in showing up even when it's hard. Growing up, I didn't realize the importance of these stories and how I was being shaped by these values. But now I understand. The love and the legacy of the Nisei veterans is the reason I am here today. So when I stand before you tonight as a candidate for the Chrysanthemum Ambassador Program, I do not stand here alone. I stand on the shoulders of those before me who persevered, who served, and who chose honor over recognition. And I hope to carry forward that legacy, to honor our past and to uplift our present, and encourage that the next generation blooms with pride and purpose. And because with love, when lived with integrity, lasts far beyond a lifetime. Thank you.
All right, let's have another round of applause for Riley and Ota. Thank you so much. Next, we would like to hear from Keala Rodriguez. Let's give her a big round of applause as well.
Growing up, my visits to my grandfather's house weren't just family visits, they were journeys through time. My grandfather's a Sansei, a third-generation Japanese-American, and a Vietnam veteran who attended Kamehameha Kapaa Lama back when it was still a strict military school. Hi, my name is Keala Rodriguez, and today I'll be talking about how the importance of preserving our books has influenced me to advocate to keep more of people's past preserved. While my grandpa may have been a veteran and is part of the Sansei, these were not the only parts that identified him. In fact, he was a major history buff with a collection that's on the verge of becoming a library. His shelves were lined with books that stretched across centuries and continents. There's the heavy weight of the Chinese history, including the rise and fall of the Mao Zedong dynasty, the deep, complex narratives of Hawaiian history, and of course, the dense records of the history of our global wars. As a young kid, I saw that these books were just static objects with ink and paper that belonged to a world that was no longer here. I thought that by putting them on the shelf, the story was ended. However, after recently interviewing him, I had realized that those books weren't just hobbies. It was a documentation that could potentially help us make a better future based off of the informed decisions that were in these books. My grandfather understood that history is a cycle. He pointed to wars such as Korea, to Vietnam, and now currently our tensions with Iran, in order to show me that the world war to end all wars might have just been a myth that we would tell ourselves so we feel safe. He taught me that we must preserve our history, not just to pass a test or to fill a shelf, but to protect our future. He told me, if you know the history, then you're going to make sure that it no happen again. This realization has shifted my outlook in our past. I had realized that harmony is not just a permanent gift, but a state that requires constant work through the dual pillars of humility and gratitude. To my grandfather, humility is the strength, the quiet strength that is required in order for a community to thrive. It is the willingness to listen to the history books of our ancestors so we don't repeat our mistakes. It involves admitting that we are, as he said, just human beings who are naturally prone to conflict unless we choose a different path. This mirrors the long withstanding humility shown by the Nisei veterans. They didn't just read about history, they lived through one of the darkest chapters as they pushed aside the bad treatment that they received, including suspicion and the threat of being sent to internment camps. However, despite this, they served a country that did not yet trust them. They knew that if they didn't lead with humility, the next generation would be the ones to suffer. I've had to find this same humility in my own life. Whether it's the red dirt of Koho'olave or the mud in the Lo'ikalo, I try to guide myself through this value. Tending a Lo'ikalo patch is a physical lesson in endurance. In the early mornings when my muscles were sore and the heat felt unbearable, I've sometimes wondered if any of my individual work even mattered. However, I've learned that true humility is clearing the path for those who come after you. Just as the Nisei fought for the future, they weren't sure of what they would see. I work in the mud today so that the land is healthier for the next generation to come. My second pillar is gratitude, a mindset that refuses to let the stories of our ancestors just fade away. My grandfather shared a fear with me that the younger generation is losing track of what happened, and that this loss of memory can be led back to the battlefield. He has mentioned that my uncles, his sons, who are currently away at college, he told me, "It is scary. I don't want your uncles to go out fighting." Hearing the fear in my voice of my grandpa's made me realize that my current stresses, being a senior and being a candidate, are actually immense privileges. The history is written in my own bloodline. During World War II, my relatives Uncle John Kahea and William Kealoha were originally Fujishiro, and they had to change their names in order to avoid the internment on Oahu. They had to conceal their Japanese identity in order to protect their family's future. It was an act of extreme humility and sacrifice. My relative, Uncle Po, who served in World War II, then returned to Maui in order to raise the animals and teach us how to live off of the land. They didn't allow the bitterness to win, and they chose to be grateful for the chance to build a life. As a Chrysanthemum Ambassador candidate, I hope that I can become the bridge between my grandpa's library of lived history and my local community. We must preserve this history as the perseverance of those in the internment camps, the courage of the Nisei, and the diversity of our Hawaiian and Japanese roots. As we honor them best by living with the same humility that they have showed us. By learning this history, I hope that we can ensure the next generation of our family doesn't have to go off to fight the same wars, but can instead stay home and tend the land that the Nisei fought so hard for us to protect. Thank you all so much for listening.
At this time, please help welcome our final Chrysanthemum Ambassador candidate, Ms. Abigail Tamayose.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Abigail Tamayose. Before I start, I would love to give a huge thanks to my parents, my grandparents, and my entire family. Thank you to everyone who supported me on this amazing journey. I am a sophomore at Kinke Kalike High School. At school, I am involved in many activities such as judo and wrestling. I also competed in the Japan Wizard competition where we learned much about Japan. I attend Kahulu Union Church where I like to volunteer and perform gospel hula. This year, I have been honored to serve as one of the 3 Chrysanthemum Ambassador candidates. My great-grandparents, Fusai Kamenishi and Kazuo no Kano, experienced horrible things during World War II because they were of Japanese descent. Executive Order 9066 forced thousands of Japanese Americans to be removed from their homes against their will and sent to internment camps. These people, who did nothing wrong, were forced to abandon their businesses, friends, and lives. My great-grandma was living in California when the war started and had to leave her home and all her possessions. My great-grandpa was enrolled in the Army was discharged just because he was Japanese. The two first met at Santa Anita Assembly Center. Great-grandma was then sent to Rower internment camp, while my great-grandpa was sent to Heart Mountain. This same experience happened to many Japanese families who lost everything. People in my generation are forgetting what Nisei veterans and Japanese Americans endured. I hope to connect with my heritage and develop a better understanding of Japanese and Nisei history. As the Chrysanthemum Ambassador candidate, I look forward to bridging the gap between old and new. I want to preserve this history and share the Nisei stories, keeping their legacy going for generations to come. Through the Chrysanthemum Ambassador program, I learned how to speak up for myself and what I believe in. I learned how to manage my time, although I still stress out at times. I learned how to communicate more effectively with adults. Right, Mom? I gained knowledge and understanding of what the Nisei generation had to endure and how they felt. I learned about the resiliency and the courage they had to stay strong in situations that were not ideal or fair. This has shown me that maybe my life and my problems are not so bad. Ultimately, I learned that we can take the courage, resiliency, and strength that the Nisei generation had and use it in our own mindset and community to make us more united with love, respect, and most importantly, gratitude. Together, standing in harmony, we can be the change in the world that we seek each and every day. We can share the stories of these brave Japanese Americans who stood unwaveringly strong and united, just like my great-grandparents. For if it hadn't been for their sacrifice, I wouldn't be standing here today. I would like to end with this poem that I wrote. I use words from the Declaration of Independence, the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, which is the French Declaration of Independence, and the Jamaica Letter. I created a poem describing what many Japanese Americans experienced as they were forced into internment camps. This is titled Hope Behind Barbed Wire. All men are created equal, but is that true? They have taken us captive and destroyed the lives of our people. 2 countries divided, peace torn. Though we cannot foresee the future, we must not lose hope. They harass our people and regard us as savages. Such cruelty, the punishment for just being ourselves. Our former lives are now distant. I wish to know our future. As we are threatened with the fear of death, dishonor, and every harm, our most valuable property we possess is hope. Americans by birth, but our freedom has been severed. Today, America stands together, but we were once separated. Peace, freedom, and equality for all. Thank you.
Who is HouseMart? HouseMart is a locally owned company that's been around for over 64 years, serving all of Hawaii's communities.
You probably know us better as Hawaii's favorite craft store, Ben Franklin Crafts.
Or as the Ace Hardware stores on Kauai, Maui, and Hawaii Island.
We've been helping generations of Hawaii's families get what they need for their craft and DIY projects.
And we plan on helping you for generations to come.
So, mahalo Hawaii for supporting our family of HouseMart stores.
We're your local grocer that grew up right along with you. Our managers are from Maui, raised on the same foods you know and love. That's why you'll always find a wide variety of local and ethnic brands for family recipes, as well as fresh produce, select quality meats, and an entire aisle for gatherings. Cooking family meals is affordable with Maui's locally owned grocer.
Island Grocery Depot.
I just wanted to thank the candidates. You're all so amazing, and for participating in the Chrysanthemum Ambassador program. And I'm so proud of you guys for being able to show your leadership through the program. And I'm also grateful for being able to help with the coordination of the Ambassador program. And I also wanted to say that They have shown like honor, empathy, resilience, and open-mindedness through their essays and through their speeches. So I am so happy for them that they shone through it. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to ask you if you can go stand over there with Melanie and Rochelle. And at this point, I'm going to turn it back over to Mike Munikio.
I thought it might be nice to share some real brief observations about our candidates. So let me do that real quickly. Riley, you were our first applicant. Your engagement with the center and your willingness to help us over the little bumps in the road were very much appreciated. We don't know how you handle the schedule you have, but you did. Your interview was poised, graceful, and professional beyond your years. Keala, your ability to juggle school, activities, planning for college, AP exams, as well as this program, is a testament to your perseverance and calm demeanor. Your essay was thought-provoking and a wonderful blend of cultures. Abigail, your willingness to step out of your comfort zone, share your personal stories and those of your family has been inspiring. Your fundraising acumen is simply amazing. You are all brilliant, dedicated, responsible young women, all having amazing futures with unlimited potential, and we are all so proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our inaugural Chrysanthemum Ambassador cohort.
All right. So this is going to be kind of in two parts. We are going to, like to recognize Mrs. Bisson joined us as well. Thank you for being, you came for the best part. All right. So please help me welcome and congratulate our first liaison, Ms. Keala Rodriguez. So while we didn't do crowns as had been done in the past, we are doing sashes. And we also have these brooches. They're made out of denim. And anybody who knows Fukuyama, it's our sister city. They're known for roses, and they make denim out of rose stems. So everybody gets a denim brooch and a trophy. Right. Please help welcome and congratulate Keala Rodriguez. Please keep that applause going for our next liaison, Ms. Riley Ann Ota. Who said the thing about if something doesn't quite go right, that it's part of the journey? Yes. We did that on purpose. So, a big round of applause. Please help me welcome our inaugural Chrysanthemum Ambassador, Ms. Abigail Tamayose. As stated before, Abigail will be traveling to Japan with us in May, and our liaisons will be representing us over on Oahu next week. We're very excited, and for future events as well, and as they go off to college. This is your cohort.
It is so incredibly difficult to get up here and speak in front of a room of folks this size and strangers. It is not easy to do. So I really think every one of these ladies deserve a huge round of applause from everybody for the courage, just the courage to do this. So I just had to say that. I know you guys are all feeling that too, right? Yeah, that took a lot of courage to do. So, mahalo.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's good to see all of you. On behalf of the Hawaii State Legislature, both the House and the Senate, we just wanted to congratulate each of you. And we actually look forward to hosting you on Oahu, and come and see us in our home away from home at your state capitol. But, you know, I think this is a great program that we've launched, and I think hopefully, you know, it will have many, many years of success. You know, I think the Sons and Daughters did a great job for many, many years. That was an iconic program that many people went through. And I think, you know, this will be, hopefully, see the same success. And it'll build great character. And I look forward to going with some of you to, or all of you, I don't know who's going, but we're going to go to Japan, right, to Fukuyama. So I will be there as well, visiting our sister city. So great aspect to the program. And all of you have to go to Japan, too, and visit our sister city. Thank you, and congratulations.
And following, we have certificates here from Congresswoman Jill Tokuda, who is so sorry she couldn't be here this evening, but Kyoko is going to give them to each of our awardees. What they didn't know is that they also have to be able to juggle lots of things. Thank you. All right, we're not letting, the parents can go back down, but we're going to hold on to the candidates, the liaisons and the ambassador a little bit longer. I'm going to turn this over to Bo.
I'm not sure the evening can get much better than this. And what I want to say is we had a stunning group of representation for our chrysanthemum gala. So once again, you know, when I was in high school, their age, all I worried about was two things: pimples on my face, and will I get a date for the prom? And the amazing things that these young women have exhibited through this gala, as well as what they do in school, with their families, representing Maui County and, of course, the state of Hawaii. Once again, a big hand for all three of them. Yeah. We want to thank all our sponsors: House Smart Family Foundation, First Hawaiian Bank, Lanai Resort, Arizumi Brothers, Central Pacific Bank, Core Physical Therapy, John and Jan Yokouchi Foundation, Maui Oil, the Mizoguchi family, Mizushima Blue, Munekiyo Hiraga, Napa United Auto Parts, and Service Rentals and Supplies, and all of you who purchased tickets for the dinner and the colored tickets for the Yeti coolers you didn't win. Thank you.
Thank you, Bo. It's been an amazing evening. I know our liaisons and ambassador probably want to go sit down. We want to thank all of you again for being here this evening, for always supporting the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. It's been an honor being up here again with you, Bo.
And with you as well, Deidre.
Thank you that you said it just
Okay.
like it said.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Maui Beach Hotel. Thank you, Zeke. Thank you, Francois. Thank you. We'll see you next year.
Have a great evening. Drive home safe. Thank you.